This is a story about going from hate to love. But really, it does also start with love. The love of a fresh new world and a new adventure, of great characters and awesome battle, and obviously awesome freaking hair. A journey depending on your choices, traveling through time, different endings even. It wasn't just a story or graphics or even just a game. It was the entire experience of awe, of knowing how enjoyable this world can become if you explored it to the max, tying into many of our lives when we were young, the strength of our origins. Oh, the nostalgia. So when they said, hey, they're gonna bring this to a new world, well, if you've already seen how they happened to go from this to this, then knowing it would happen to another beloved game, it's only natural to have excitement as high as your expectation. A sequel is on its way. Oh, it's finally here, but you didn't really get that. What is this? Is this even a Chrono game? I mean, who the heck is this guy? He doesn't have awesome hair. Or, it's covered. And he doesn't even have a sword. I need a guy with a sword. Guy with a sword. Guy with a sword. What is this thing? Even the love story felt flat. What's up with that accent? Why is everything so different? Where are the characters I loved? No, this isn't what I wanted. Is this even a sequel? How does this even have to do with what happened in the previous game? But time passes. And maybe you give it some more time. Maybe you even play it more than once. And, actually try. Playing the game to enjoy the game itself fully. Getting as powerful as you can and mastering the battle system. And then you begin to notice, yo, this is freaking awesome. You make something new yours in a new way. So it doesn't even have to do with those previous expectations. I love being able to be the bad guy, the anti-hero. The beauty of this game, the story, the deep concepts, the post-apocalyptic dying timeline reality of this game. Dare I say, somehow it was way cooler visually and conceptually than the post-apocalyptic world in the previous game. I mean, you even battle against a machine called Fate that holds your own face. That's just so awesome. Sure, it's not time travel, but it is exactly the result of the time travel that you'd been doing. It is the outcome of altering events in the past and timelines dying, especially when powerful entities in the dying timelines are desperate to do anything to prevent themselves from being lost into the abyss. Oh, right, that kind of makes sense. It is connected. It's connected perfectly. Yeah, of course those are the characters that I know. Right, they're right there in this game too. And they are the same events, and even the same places from the previous game that are impacting this one. I could only grasp the rich story after I turned my hate into love. The sound and music of this game, the sound of the swallow weapon striking at its max heavy hit after using my eagle eyes to make sure it's perfect, or making the field completely unified and then doing feral cats. Loving things, new things, maybe even loving things I'm not supposed to, but I don't care. The experience was mine. So sure, my criticisms are still there, and I think they're still valid. He's still not a guy with a sword, which is important to me. And this love story was mired with bad decisions. Like, first of all, it seemed like they were suggesting I already had a girlfriend. And you had to actually reject her at some point in order to get her into your party. and you had to reject her right off the bat of the game in order to get another character that was a reincarnation of a previous beloved character to do an awesome move that was so powerful in the previous game. Heck, I even developed new criticisms on the personal front, like I'm totally not musically intelligent, and music happens to be a way bigger part of this game in order to play it properly than anybody would have expected. But even that didn't matter. I went from being a hater because this game didn't have what I expected, to loving this game because it had so much of what I couldn't have expected. This game, the concepts, the music, the battle, it felt like me. Chronopolis felt like my home. So now I love both games. Which one is better? I don't know. I don't even know if that's the right question. I go back and forth in my mind when I try to think about it. So the funny thing is, because of all the hate, whether justified or not, because it was a late comer, because not as many appreciated this one as many did the previous, that actually added to the feeling that this game was more so my game, my experience, whereas the previous one felt more public to everyone. And oddly, I really began to personally appreciate it. I know it's kind of weird, but that's my story of going from hate to love. Both Chrono games were freaking awesome. Hello everyone, that was my video on Chrono Cross. I really hope that you enjoy it and actually do click like. I need that favor from you to try and convince the algorithm that I haven't been missing for the past 6 months with the broken heart and depression. It's been really tough for me, and that's kind of why I picked to do Chrono Cross, to remind me of kind of who I am. It sort of reminds me of my own unique identity, to know that I love this game in particular so much. In fact, it's even a little hard to remember that I used to be a hater of it. But if you go across online nowadays and you're a fan of Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross, you still come across some of these criticisms of this game about how it's not a direct transition from Chrono Trigger. So it's interesting for me to remind myself of that. And maybe going through what I am, it's important to remember who I am. And this game helps me do that. Maybe I wanted my life to be like a continuation of Trigger. Maybe I wanted to be a guy with sword. It's kind of corny, but maybe I should spend less time trying to hate on why my life isn't the fantasy that I thought it would be, and more of appreciating the beauty that it is, even though it's not what I wanted. I don't even know anymore like which world I'm in or who I'm supposed to be in. Maybe that's why I connect more with Cross. It's a really weird feeling. Other than that, I don't always do video game type documentary stuff here on this channel. I review a bunch of other things, but if you would like, please also check out my GoldenEye review, if you remember GoldenEye. Because much like Chrono Trigger, there were rumors about a GoldenEye 2 about to come out. We did wonder what was it going to be about. GoldenEye's story finished, and we didn't exactly get a GoldenEye 2. It didn't even have James Bond in it. But man, what we did get, holy crap.